Hello everybody, welcome back. This is EonShiKeno and I'm with Time Lord.
Hello.
We're going to cast a game here between IMYongHwa as our blue Protoss player here on Metalopolis, and his opponent on the right side of the map is not Slayer's Sella, but it is Slayer's Ganzi. Now, Slayer's Ganzi, I think as far as he's progressed in the GSL, he's made it to Code A in March, and is most notably famous for beating MVP in a... The person, not the clan. He didn't all kill MVP, but most known for beating MVP in a TvP. So he is part of Slayers, and we'll see what he can do here today. And go ahead and introduce EonShiKeno for us here.
Yeah, he's playing under Protoss right now, or IM. And EonShiKeno, he's best known for his GSTL runs in the team leagues in February and March, where he owned up, and that's where he really got his name. And but lately, he hasn't been really showing too much activity of really being that good. So hopefully we'll see him do really well in this GSTL.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of talent in Korea. It's just really hard for them to get their name out because they have so few events to compete in unless they go to like foreign events. So whenever you see just a few Koreans go to, you know, DreamHack or whatever, they really get their name out there. But if, you know, you have so many Koreans competing in GSL and GSTL, it's hard to really make a name for yourself. Unless you're, you know, constantly winning and all over the place, like MVP, Nestea, and you know, MVP also.
True, and when you have huge names in Code B, you know, trying to get into Code A, it's almost impossible to get, you know, new names into Code A to really get shown. So GSTL is really a way to get new players, you know, into the spotlight.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely like the format of GSTL as a little bit of just something a little different to. It's a good companion with the regular GSL. So we got close air spawning positions on Metalopolis, and if I didn't already mention this is a match from the FXO Open, a recent match, and we've got an orbital command popping up, 2 Marines coming out. And as far as EonShiKeno, he's going for his second gas, cybernetics core, standard opening so far, and just skipping the Zealot, it looks like. What do you think about that? Oh, wait, yeah, he did skip it.
Skipping the Zealot, I really like doing that, because if you... Usually you can just chrono out the Stalker and do harass with a Marine.
Harass the Marines with the Stalker?
Or, yeah, harass the Marines with the Stalker. And that's exactly what he's going to be doing, so... I like that.
Yeah, there's a pretty close spawning distance, and he already has a proxy pylon on the edge of his base down here. One to provide scouting information in case a Reaper, just vision in case a Reaper does decide to jump up there, to give him a little bit of a warning, as well as you can warp down here in the low ground and just be right at your opponent's base. You know, right outside of your opponent's base already after a warp in. That's what you want as a Protoss player, right?
Oh yeah, that is really awesome, because you can, these positions, you can put pressure on really good and have that secure pylon in your base. So yeah, that's very good on this map in these positions. So
we got EonShiKeno going for a robo and some more gateways. He is pretty famous for going for the 3, what was it, like a 3 gateway robo? I think that's one of his more well-known builds he's known for.
Yeah, robo play definitely.
And it looks like we're going to see some starport play, maybe some Banshees from Ganzi. He is close air spawning position, so probably makes sense that he's going for a robo anyway. Get that observer out there, make sure there's, you know, no cloak Banshees are going to do any harassing, and that observer is going to see that before that Banshee even gets finished. So I really don't see this Banshee accomplishing much this game. Yeah, and he's also getting the cloak on the Banshee as well first. It seems like this type of play has just been, you know, removed from the metagame just because it's just way too obvious. Right, and EonShiKeno playing super safe, getting that observer is just gonna, you know. And he has an expansion up now too. So wow, I'm already expecting EonShiKeno to be in a huge advantage, because Banshee, if scouted and just have like 2 stalkers there, that tech is completely wasted for the near future. And he has his expansion up. And what does Ganzi have? He's got a bunker and some Marines. Yep, looks like 9 Marines off that one barracks. He is ahead, of course. Actually, he's behind in the probe count, obviously, but he does have the mule, so income's still fairly even. But are you expecting a 1-base play here from Ganzi if this Banshee doesn't go as well as he planned?
No, I think as soon as he finds out that he has an observer, he's going to put up an expansion.
Is he going to cancel that cloaking field? No, he's just going to let it finish. You really think he's going to go for an expansion? I don't know. He's making a lot of Marines, and he's starting another Banshee. I'm kind of anticipating him just go for one base play here if he at least scouts the expansion. If he sees the expansion, I think he may just pull the trigger, go for an all-in off one base. So he does scout the expansion now. Nothing out there yet.
Yeah,
no.
And he does see the observers, and the Banshees are just useless now almost to be harassing with, especially since EonShiKeno went the Stargate and has Phoenix down now. So
oh yeah, those Phoenix
negates those Banshees altogether.
He still hasn't started an expansion. He's making another tank, more Marines coming out. It's going to be a straight up Marine tank push with some Banshee support, I think. He's sending out an SCV to scout with.
Yeah, that is pretty surprising to see that.
He's even killing the probe there at the Xel'Naga Tower to remove any type of vision of an oncoming attack.
Yeah, he's going to try to punish that quick observer and quick expansion for the from the Protoss. So
and
let's see what Gonzi
Siege Tech is about halfway finished. I think Slayer's Gonzi is going for it. Those Phoenixes need to watch out. Oh, takes one of them out. That's pretty. Oh wow, loses the Banshee. Didn't repair that. And he's pushing across the map here. It's going to be full defensive mode now for EonShiKeno. Sending a SCV out there first, and is he not going to do? He's turning around. He's throwing up an expansion. That was is he playing against a Zerg player, or he's like, psych, not attacking, gotcha.
Yeah, when he saw those two Immortals, he's like, crap.
Oh, did he actually scout the Immortals?
My tanks won't be able to do anything.
With the SCV, he scouted that?
Yeah, yep.
Gotcha, okay. It looks like he just lost another Banshee, unfortunately. And Phoenix in the main there doing some harassing. Not really going to kill anything. I think he just lost a Phoenix there. Ran into the wrong part of town. Those Marines shot him down. 6 units loss for the Protoss player and only 2 for the Terran player. So I think that was a safe move, was going for the expansion after, like you said, scouting those Immortals, because with those number of Immortals and, just a couple centuries, I think he could have easily held that off.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially just like a couple force fields and all he had was a Marine, so having that early Guardian Shield up with no upgrades for the Marines, it's really, you can't do that.
Yeah.
The Terran cannot attack into that.
Yeah, he didn't have combat shields, he didn't have stim. Nothing like that, but he's probably going to start researching that as soon as his tech lab finishes. He's got a pretty big saturation there of SCVs on his main. He's probably going to transfer those down there to his expansion. That thing is finished right now. So both players are on 2 bases, but EonShiKeno has been up for substantially longer.
Yeah, he has about 200 minerals out of each patch, 100 minerals, so he's up, 1,000 to 2,000 more minerals on his expansion already, so he's pretty far ahead so far.
If I had a time machine and we went back in time like 5 months ago, I don't think that Gonzi would have retreated.
Probably not.
It just seems players are playing more safe nowadays. Just not taking as many risky chances. There's a lot less all-ins. And I think that's evident on the GSL. You can, sort of see players having longer games and just playing a little bit safer, not taking as many risks.
Yeah, they're getting to know what their units can do versus what units at what time. That's what StarCraft 2 is all about. Like, it takes time to actually figure out all that crap.
Yeah, being able to read an army and saying, can I beat that? Probably not. So they fall back, play the safe route.
Yeah, and there's also stuff to, like, can I beat that? If I lose my stuff, can I defend my base from a counterattack, blah, blah, blah. And there's just so much stuff involved in that, and over time you get a heck of a lot better games, and we can see it.
I've got to say, I really like EonShiKeno's 2 Phoenixes just running around scouting, taking care of Banshees, and preventing any possible drops. Just 2 Phoenixes, and he's really controlling the map. And once again, this fight over the Xel'Naga Tower, that's like the 3rd probe that's died there just for vision. That thing is a bloodbath for Protoss units. And now 2 Stalkers. I love, this is like a Trump game. It's like one guy sends 1 Marine to get his Xel'Naga Tower. The next guy's like, I'm going to send 2 Marines. Then you're like, I know how to beat that. 3 Marines. And now he just gets counted. He's like, haha, 2 Stalkers beats 2 Marines. And now watch this. The Terran player, the Terran player's like, screw that. I'm sending my whole army. I'm tired of this game.
Yep. He's like, I want that Xel'Naga tower.
But their probe is there, so EonShiKeno is going to scout this out. And he sees the army coming, and this is a pretty heavy army. Stim is not finished yet. +1 is not finished yet. 2 ghosts are on the way. I don't think he's going to continue this attack. At least maybe not to the main. Maybe just siege up here, wait for the ghost to show up. Storm is so close to being finished. That's going to be huge to get Storm finished. Does he have any High Templar out? Yes, they're out right now. They do have enough energy to storm, it looks like. And
lots of storms.
Yeah, tanks are sieging up, bunkers being placed, and Gonzi is doing some drops here into the main, getting him some vision. Banshee doing some harassing. He's actually supply blocked EonShiKeno right now. Archons, High Templar looks like he's going to move out at this point, and this is going to be a pretty big engagement. +1 is just about finished. Stim is just about finished. Looks like EonShiKeno is trying to position his army here. Charge is finished, and he's going to go in here. Siege tank's doing a lot of damage. Phoenix is going in, not really going to do much. And Marine's getting, murdered by all the Storm. Bunker's not finished yet. Storm on top of all the tanks. Marine's in the back there, but it looks like he's going to clean up. There's a lot of Marines there on the high ramp still. Immortal's taking on all the tanks. And it looks like he might clean this up. I don't know. This is getting pretty close right now.
Yeah, it's the Terran. His reinforcements are just getting owned.
Yeah, the Zealots.
I'm not sure what EonShiKeno's what he's thinking there.
I think Gonzi's came out ahead there, sort of. He's in the main. He's dealing a lot of damage. He took out a lot of production. He's got a Banshee in there with Cloak, and all EonShiKeno, the Protoss player, has is just an Immortal Archon. And it looks like he's maybe going to clean this up. That Archon is pretty low life, and he's just going to get out of town, finally losing that Banshee. But I think a lot of damage was done there. Let's check the Harvester count. 61 versus 44. Definitely ahead for the Terran player, Gonzi, and he's taking another base. Protoss player playing very risky. He's like, you know what, I'm behind. I'm going to take an expansion. I think, but he's actually going to get scouted here. Uh-oh. But actually, now that I think about it, what does the Terran player have to deal with this? Like, can he send a force big enough to kill this expansion? Not really.
Yeah, not really.
So that wasn't actually too risky. I think a lesser skilled player would be like, oh no, that went pretty bad for me. I shouldn't expand. But in this situation, it was close enough that an expansion seems to be pretty safe right about now.
Yeah, and that did go worse for EonShiKeno than I expected, because EonShiKeno is sitting there attacking at the very bottom, like just random reinforcements, and like Gonzi just ran in with and killed like 20 probes at least. I mean,
yeah, those drops up the top were really nice.
Yeah, EonShiKeno should have just immediately went back into his base and cleared up that instead of just wasting all of his time down below. Yeah, let's look at the count.
Cloak?
63 SUVs.
Cloak just finished again.
No, that was for Ghosts, probably.
Okay, I was like, wait, didn't he already research that? Yeah, I forgot they're the same icon, so Cloak probably just finished for Ghosts. You're a good call there. And we have a double expansion for Gonzi. He's like, I see your 1 expansion, I counter you 2 expansions, good sir.
Yeah, and he's behind about 15 probes or so
supply,
he can come back from
supply
that.
He's only behind by what is that, 12 supplies, so the game is still pretty even actually. And the Protoss player got his 3rd up before Gonzi did. But we have another big attack here coming from Gonzi across the middle of the map, and he does a scan, he sees it. Let's see if he's going to continue the attack. Takes that Xel'Naga tower over again once more, and he scanned it. He's not continuing the push yet.
Yeah, he's putting up those two expansions at the same time, getting that gold. I think he just wants to try to secure that gold, get up a better economy, and get 200, push out. Set
up a nice positioning. I like the positioning here. As a Xel'Naga tower, some tanks in the back here. It's pretty good force. +1 upgrades. But it looks like he's settling. It looks like this turtle's going to tuck in and settle in for the turtle for the long haul.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised from the Protoss's EonShiKeno's upgrades. He's only 1 upgrade for the weapons.
And he's going out on the attack. He wants the Xel'Naga tower back. He's got an observer with vision, but it looks like he's going to fall back. The tanks are too well protected, and he's going to fall back. He takes a little bit of a licking there. Those Zealots got a little weak up front. He's got how many High Templar in there? Those are Zealots. Those are not High Templar. Misclick. 4 High Templar and a lot of Archons. I really don't think he should attack this position. Why attack this way? And actually, he's falling back. The Terran player is falling back. He figures there's too much. He's going to fall back. But the goes up front with the EMP. Getting off some good EMP. All there on the Zealots. Guardian Shield going to go up. And this looks like it's a really bad position out for Gonzi. Nice feedback. Did he feedback a high or Archon? Is that what that was?
What'd he do?
I thought that would feedback hit an Archon. Maybe there's a ghost in there somewhere, but he broke that pretty easily. Now EonShiKeno is just going to go in here and start dealing some damage. Reinforcements for some Marauders going to come up. Storm going to go down on top of them, but he's just going to go back here and start killing some production. He really needs to kill some SCVs, get back in the SCV count. We can check the count. He's still pretty far behind by, what is that, 11, I think? And he's going to work on the production facilities, though. But, yeah, I mean, he just had a pretty big army, and I'm surprised he actually just went straight into that attack. I'm surprised he didn't flank him or anything, you know, considering he does have running straight into a tank line. But it's a pretty awkward position. Gonzi's sacrificing his natural expansion, but he still has two other ones going pretty well. And he just now scouts it with his Zealot down here at the bottom, so he knows there's a base down here at the bottom. He's like, I should probably go kill that. And he has to be aware of the one in the middle. Yep, he is aware of that. Zealots, plenty of Zealots bring in for reinforcements. 1-1 upgrades on those guys. Some upgrades on the shields, though, obviously. A Thor coming out. Some Thors, a bunch of SCVs just on break, enjoying it. He has a Observer up there. It's going to get shot down pretty soon. This missile turret is going to pop up, and that thing didn't have a chance to live.
Yeah, he has, EonShiKeno has about 28 Zealots. He's just pumping out so many Zealots, and since he went tanks, it just basically nullified those tanks, because once those Zealots get around tanks, they're dead. And that's how he cleaned that up so easily. I
like how EonShiKeno was sending just 2 Zealots to deal with this bottom expansion, keeping positioning with this army to not allow the Terran to get out of his base. He does not have any tanks in his main army, so he can't like slow push out of his base. He's really controlling that expansion while dealing, just sending the precise amount of units to deal with that bottom expansion with just a couple Zealots. I like that play.
Yeah, he's really taking control of this game, big time.
And now he's moving on the Planetary Fortress. That thing is going down fast. A lot of repair going down. SCVs falling left and right, and this thing is going to die. Nice storm on top of all those guys, and that thing is gone. Planetary no more. So he traded one base to get his natural back. Pretty low on minerals, though, so wow. Quickly, this game is turning in the favor of EonShiKeno. Gonzi now behind, and the Zealot is already in position to block the 4th base. EonShiKeno all over the place here, showing that he can deal with these Code A players, Code A quality players. But look at these, how many observers has he made this game? Look at these observers. One over, that's an observer, that's a Marine, but observer here, he's killed like at least 2 or 3, and he's just constantly making more and more observers, always paying attention to what's going on in this game.
Yeah, you're seeing that a lot in higher play now. People are getting more than one observer, and it's just so key to have really control the map, and you can do that with observers. And
is he going to go in for another attack here? I really think EonShiKeno, I mean, he has a huge advantage. Look at the supply, 192 versus 153. He could easily take a 4th and a 5th base right now. He's completely maxed out on supply. He's got 1,100 minerals, and he has just enough supply to make some DTs. I think that's a smart move that's really going to allow him to keep control of the expansions on the other side of the game and just be a general pain in the ass. And actually, Ghost run up there to front, getting some nice EMPs off. Scan going to kill those DTs. Invisible units on each side of the player's map. They're just trading invisible units, and it looks like the Terran player is going to push up here, but he's really behind in supply. A lot of damage going down. Feedback on the Thor. Haven't seen that in a while. Storms on top of everything. More feedback, and those Marauders are just melting. Zealots trying to squeeze in there, get past those Immortals. More Storm going to go down, and it looks like EonShiKeno is just crushing this Terran player. More feedbacks. Archon's wanting to get in the fight there, too. Reinforced with some Marines. Ghost showing up. He's going to have to land some pretty epic EMPs to finish this game off, but it looks like, oh, wow, Gonzi. There we have the GG from Gonzi, and EonShiKeno takes that game down after a maybe a bit of a scary mid-game there for him.
Yeah, those storms really just cleaned up at the end. It was no contest after those storms got off, because Gonzi really didn't even pull back. He just took it. He just took the storms, and yeah, that killed him because he didn't have any more expansions, and that one, like you said, when Gonzi attacked and killed all those probes and did pretty good damage, somehow EonShiKeno came back and just powered down with those storms. I like that.
Yeah, and I love his build. It was safe enough that he could fight off the Banshees. That was no problem. He had Immortals out to deal with that, and he had 3 gateways up by the time his expansion was finishing. So he must have done this before because he was ready for it. And Gonzi just took a look at it and decided, you know what, I'm not going to attack that. I'm going to try and build up, going for the attack. But the fight that happened outside outside EonShiKeno's base, I don't know. That was a really weird fight because it seemed like Gonzi did enough damage. It seemed like he came out ahead on that fight just because he killed a lot of probes, but it just didn't translate into the mid and late game for him. It just seemed like he was behind. Maybe he slacked on his macro where EonShiKeno just kept it going.
True, and because of, remember when Gonzi did take that second expansion a lot later?
Oh, yeah.
So,
and his third?
EonShiKeno could have got more reinforcements a lot quicker, probably.
Yeah, so in actuality, you're right, because he did take his expansion a lot quicker, so his macro is already ahead, so maybe that might have just evened up the game a little bit. And then he took his third right after the fight, so his third was up even before the Terran player's third. So I guess in general, the macro won for him this game as far, I think his macro was superior, timing for expansions, and I think unit control was also very, very well executed. His map control, is constantly trying to take that Xel'Naga over, just never giving him anything free, always fighting for it. Constant observer production was awesome, and just being all over the place at once, it seemed like.
Yep, and one thing that I did learn from this game is with Protoss, you can win without making any Colossus.
And actually, yeah, you're right. He didn't make a single Colossus, and I've been wanting to see this for a really long time. And actually, you say that, but look at the production tab.
Oh.
Yes,
That's funny.
It didn't come out yet, but he was ready for it. He was like, you know what? I made almost every other unit in the game. I guess I'll make a Colossus. Why not? But yeah, up until this point, Immortals, Archons, Stalkers, Zealots, I mean, it's enough. I mean, with that Archon buff, Archons are just, I think, so much better than what they were before.
That +1 range.
And massive.
Wow, it really changed a lot.
Like, not getting concussive shells to slow you down, that is just crazy. Like, Archons are so much better. So hopefully we'll see more transition away from Colossus, because I think they're kind of weak against Terran. I think a really well-executed, like, Marine with Stim, and then transition to, like, a Marauder Viking combination with just very low medevac counts can just destroy a heavy Colossus build off of, like, 2 or 3 base.
Yep, very true.
So I hope everybody enjoyed this game. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, thumbs up all my videos, and good luck, have fun.